elephants on the rampage to hungry hippos and leopards. Here are 13 of the craziest animal attack pictures explained.
Damn, nature, you scary.
And before we start, Mr. X Nemesis writes to let us know that they love the channel enough that they subscribe. Well, that is awesome, mate. We're glad you're enjoying the videos and have decided to stick around. And we also want to thank all our new subscribers who have joined us recently. So thanks for making epic wildlife a part of your life. Cheers! Number 13. BAT-ASTROPHY. Now, when's the last time you heard of a toad eating a bat? Probably never. But that's what happened in the Peruvian rainforest when a cane toad managed to attack a bat while it was airborne. These amphibians were not previously known to have a taste for winged mammals, but it did make for a bizarre image, seeing the bat's wings and tail sticking out of the toad's mouth. For the record, the toad couldn't finish his meal, and the bat managed to escape. Superior serpent. Two of the deadliest snakes in South Australia faced off when a brown snake took on a larger red-bellied black snake. The battle didn't last long, though. The larger reptile managed to place its opponent in a fatal grip after the brown snake's efforts to bite it proved futile. In short order, the black snake swallowed up its opponent, literally. While the brown snake is thought to be the second most venomous snake on the planet, its toxin was ineffective against the red-bellied black critter. According to experts, those snakes have evolved a unique immunity to the venom of their fellow Aussie serpents. Ready to eat. These pictures taken at the Sabi Sands Game Reserve in South Africa appear to show a leopard attacking a python. But those pictures are a little misleading. The big cat did struggle with the big reptile, but the thing is, the snake was already dead. The leopard likely figured he had a free lunch when he encountered the expired python hanging from the tree. But because the serpent had coiled itself so tightly around the branches, the leopard had to engage in a one-sided tug-of-war, helping itself to a few bites as he tried to bring the critter down. It took a final leap into the tree to finally disentangle the snake, and after dragging its prize away, the leopard was finally able to dig in and attack its meal. Giraffe attack. Now, this almost looks like it could be some sort of meme, but this giraffe attack happened in 2013 when a 13-foot male chased after tour group vehicles for several miles through the South African savanna. The animal even maintained a full gallop while chasing the tourists uphill, and that's not too surprising since the critters can run nearly 40 miles per hour. Giraffe attacks are rare, but experts say this 2.5-ton male may have been experiencing a hormonal imbalance. Fresh meat. Since leopards are known to skulk about in the undergrowth, it's rare to capture photos of them actually hunting. But a photographer caught a crafty leopard that was lurking in the bushes of Masai Mara Nature Reserve in Kenya. The animal was located near a herd of wildebeest that were moving to cross the Mara River. Each year, the great wildebeest migration takes place at the nature reserve as more than 1 million wild animals make the trek, spooking the herd and raising huge columns of dust. The leopard zeroed in on a young wildebeest, and that's a cunning choice given that adult wildebeest can weigh around 600 pounds, or about 3 times as much as the feline predator. The juvenile was soon suffocated when the big cat clamped its jaws around its throat and dragged its prize away. Angry, hungry hippos. Along with being one of the most intimidating critters on the planet, the hippo is famously aggressive. Combine that with a massive body that can weigh around 3 tons and possesses speed approaching 30 miles per hour, and you get this image, which has become something of a classic. This gamekeeper at Uganda's Murchison Falls National Park had the misfortune to interrupt the animal's lunch, which is why the fella had to make like Usain Bolt, who for the record is actually slower than a hippo. Just so you know, the gamekeeper made a safe getaway. Frog eat frog. A green tree frog displayed some cannibalistic behavior when it was photographed attempting to chow down a fellow amphibian. The scene took place in the backyard of the photographer in New South Wales. He said the brown, ornate, burrowing frog appeared nearly expired in the bigger frog's mouth. Experts claim it's not unusual for the green frogs to display such behavior. Apparently, they'll attempt to eat anything nearby that happens to be moving. Double trouble. Two wild elephants went berserk in southern India and rampaged for hours through a small city near Mysore after wandering in from the forest. The pair of beasts left a swath of destruction as they overturned vehicles and attacked other animals. Before the elephants were done, several people were killed. The two pachyderms were finally captured after being taken down with tranquilizer darts. Experts say that wild elephants kill hundreds of people across India each year as they wander into cities. The animals often have to range farther for food as the natural habitats diminish. Angry Birds. Now this picture looks like it could be a scene from that old Hitchcock classic flick, The Birds. Now while it does look scary enough, we really couldn't find a lot of information about it, including whether or not it's possibly a Photoshop job. While we have a few questions about this image, we do have a story that can be verified. Every springtime in Australia, magpies are known to swoop down and attack pedestrians, and they seem to especially target cyclists. The birds get an attitude during breeding season when they perceive passers-by getting too close to the nest as the eggs are ready to hatch. The magpies are infamous for biting and pecking at the face, eyes, and ears, and in some cases will even dive bomb a human target. Clash of the Titans. Two amateur photographers came away with some amazing images that captured a duel between an African elephant with one tusk and a black rhino. The bull elephant approached the rhino cow and a calf at an undisclosed location in Africa. When the rhino moved in to protect her offspring, the elephant charged, ramming into the rhino and flipping it onto its back, where it lay helpless as its fellow pachyderm continued its brutal assault. Experts think the bull elephant was in a state of must, a condition that causes testosterone levels to jump around 60% higher than normal and results in extremely aggressive behavior. That, along with the critter's massive size, gave it a decided advantage. African elephants can weigh some 6 tons, as opposed to black rhinos weighing more than 3,000 pounds. After the attack, baby rhino emerged and ran to its mum, who managed to regain her footing after a few hours. Tooth and claw. A male Atlantic seal demonstrated their paternal instinct when a rival bull entered his territory and got too close to his pups. Pictures captured the enormous bull seal squaring off and trading devastating blows as they battled on a muddy shoreline at the Donna Nook Nature Reserve in Lincolnshire, England. Each animal weighed around 550 pounds, so given the size, they demonstrated some skill in addition to brute force. The two would carefully circle each other and only attack at the most opportune moment. For a time it looked as though the defender was losing ground. His canine tooth was knocked out by the intruder, but he eventually prevailed and gave his opponent a rough escort out of his domain. The victor then returned to resume looking after his pups and the mothers. Bullseye. A bullfighter in Spain made headlines when the animal he fought gored him. Andres Roca Rey was fighting the bull in Pamplona when the big critter managed to invoke an eye-watering injury with its horns. Let's say the injury could put a bloke's reproductive capacity in peril, and just leave it at that. Well, during that time in Pamplona, the annual running of the bulls was underway, so Mr. Rey was not the only one fighting the animals, as the big beasts plowed through the city streets. Some pictures we found illustrate the point vividly, including one where a bull seems to be literally flying into a crowd of people. Some of the animals running wild were said to be more than 1,400 pounds, and 6 of approximately 1,000 participants were gored during the event. And before getting to the number 1 attack, here's a couple of honorable mentions. While researching the episode, we found a number of awesome pictures, including this one by photographer Miles Kenzo Corin. He caught this image of a snake entangling a gecko after the lizard dropped out of a tree. And as you may have noticed, we had a couple stories about enraged elephants. But here's an image that really jumps out at you. This Asian elephant was seen charging a group of locals in West Bengal, India. They tried to scare off the wild beast by throwing firecrackers at it, but the strategy seems to have backfired. Three, the hard way. Now who would come out victorious in a death match involving a hippo, a wildebeest, and a crocodile? Well, some graphic photos taken in South Africa might give us an idea. When a female wildebeest was drinking from a river at Sabi Sand Game Reserve, a crocodile attacked, and clamped its jaws onto the mammal's neck. As the croc tried to drag its potential meal into the river, a hippo appeared suddenly and tried to grab the wildebeest for itself. That led to the two fearsome beasts fighting each other over the feeding rights to the now expired wildebeest. Witnesses to the event say the struggle lasted for nearly an hour as the two animals attacked and counterattacked each other. We're told the crocodile actually outlasted the hippo and ended up taking the wildebeest. Now that story is made all the more amazing because hippos are normally regarded as herbivorous critters.
Damn, nature, you scary.